Throughout my walk with God, there have been several verses that have impacted me and really solidified my relationship with God. I'm one of those individuals that believes that God is continuously speaking to us, not through an audible voice, but sometimes through experiences, a movie, a song, through another individual. And John 15, verse 1, 4, and 5 have been one of those verses that God has spoken to me in the past in various occasions. Yet I also experienced this really cool moment with this verse. And this is what it says. John 15, verse 1, 4, and 5. It says, I am the true vine, and my Father is the gardener. Verse 4, remain in me as I also remain in you. No branch can bear fruit by itself. It must remain in the vine. Neither can you bear fruit unless you remain in me. I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. So Jesus is essentially speaking to his disciples, and he's telling them, I am the vine and you are the branches, and no branch can bear fruit by itself. Literally, apart from me, you could do absolutely nothing. It's so interesting because Jesus is describing the union between him and his disciples, and essentially it's the union between him and anyone who chooses to follow him. And what's cool is that Jesus uses a physical analogy in order to demonstrate a spiritual reality. Right? He uses a physical analogy in order to demonstrate a spiritual reality. So Jesus is describing a grape plant. I don't know if you've ever had a chance to see what a grapevine looks like and how it grows, but he states that he positions believers as branches who are connected to him, the vine. And thus, the branches are able to give fruit as a result of their connection to the vine. So think of it like this. Imagine a trunk, an apple tree. There is a trunk that has roots, which is connected to the ground. And then on that trunk, there are branches that come out of it. And in those branches, you are able to find fruit. See, in the Bible, when it talks about believers giving fruit, it talks about believers using their life in order to impact somebody else. You could see something visible in the life of that individual because they're connected to the vine, right? There's been a change. They are excited about serving other people, right? They give fruit is the term that we like to use. And most people believe that the Christian life is about giving fruit. It's about consistently serving others. It's about consistently doing. But the reality is that the Christian life is primarily and always will be about abiding and remaining and staying connected to the vine, Jesus. As I was driving a couple of years ago, I believe it was Hurricane Irma. After I was driving, it was a beautiful day right after the hurricane and beautiful sunny sky. And I remember that I was driving towards work. And as I was heading towards work, I would look at the beautiful, amazing sky, and then I would see these luscious green branches connected to these trunks and these big trees. And then what really caught my attention is that there was a play on a color scheme because I would look towards the ground and I would see these withered, right, almost khaki and orange branches that have been broken off from the trunk, and they were essentially dying. And I remember that I stopped and I looked at it and I felt God bring this verse to life right in front of me. I remember God pretty much telling me, look at those branches. You see the branches that are connected to the trunk? You see how luscious, how beautiful, how healthy, how green they are, right? The reason why they're like that is because those vines, right? Those branches are connected to the trunk, which is the source of life for them. Yet now you see the branches that are on the floor, they're dying out. They're broken, they're dry, right? It's because they've been broken off or separated from the trunk, its source of life. God told me, Angel, your life before me is the life that you see represented in those branches that are withering and dying away because they're disconnected from the trunk. And your life today is full of purpose and joy and peace because you're connected to the trunk, to the vine, that's Jesus. See, what's beautiful is the branches don't give life to the trunk. The trunk gives life to the branches. So I invite you today, whatever it is that you're going through, maybe you're thinking that you have to do, especially in a culture like ours that's so fast paced. But if you really look at these verses, Jesus invites us to remain in him, to abide in him, to be connected to him, because that is the only way that we can ever produce. That is the only way that we'll ever feel purpose. That is the only way that we'll ever feel fulfilled. So you can do nothing apart from him. Make it your priority today to be connected to the source of life and purpose, Jesus.